Turning now, though, back to Ohio, where 18-year-old Kaitlyn Coones, along with her adult boyfriend, 34-year-old Jonathon Jones, were in court today to plead no contest to the murder of Jones's mother.
Now, prosecutors say Coones was upset with Jones's mother interfering in their relationship, so ordered him to kill her, but when he wouldn't do it, she committed the murder herself.
Now, let's get you into that courtroom now to hear what the prosecutor had to say about the facts of the case.
This matter proceeded to trial with respect to count 1 on CR 232276 and CR 241092. The state of Ohio would have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Jonathon Jones and Kaitlyn Coones on or about April 19th, 2023 in Lucas County, Ohio, did purposely and with prior calculation and design caused the death of another, specifically Nicole Jones. With respect to count 8 in CR 232776 and count 3 in 24-1092, the state of Ohio would have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that defendants Jonathon Jones and Kaitlyn Coones on or about April 19th, 2023 in Lucas County, Ohio, did knowingly and without legal authorization treat a human corpse in a way that would outrage community sensibilities. Specifically, Judge, the state of Ohio would have shown that on April 19th, 2023, Jonathon Jones and Kaitlyn Coones worked together to plan, carry out, and cover up the murder of Nicole Jones, the biological mother of Jonathon Jones. That these events occurred at 7456 Timbers Edge Boulevard, located here in Lucas County, Ohio. The evidence would have shown that the defendant, Jonathon Jones, had been involved in an illegal sexual relationship with co-defendant Kaitlyn Coones, starting when she was 16 years old. Mr. Jones was convicted in Wood County, Ohio, for charges relating to that relationship and for possessing images of a sexual nature involving Kaitlyn Coones. While Mr. Jones was awaiting sentencing for those charges in Wood County, he was released on an electronic monitoring unit and was ordered to have no contact with Kaitlyn Coones. The evidence shows that while the defendant was awaiting sentencing, Kaitlyn Coones and Jonathon Jones nonetheless made plans for Ms. Coones to come to Toledo. She had fled a group home she had been residing in Akron, Ohio, and made her way to the defendant's home on Timbers Edge that he shared with his mother, Nicole Jones. Once there, the two planned to kill Nicole Jones because she was getting in the way of their relationship, and to some extent because the two desired to become an infamous couple. On April 19th, 2023, they waited until Nicole Jones was inside the kitchen of the home and had her back to them. They then beat her over the head with a rock and strangled her to death together. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation processed the home at Timbers Edge and found many droplets of blood consistent with a large bloodletting event in that kitchen. BCI determined that Nicole Jones was the primary contributor of DNA of that blood. Following the murder, the two went to several different home supply stores and bought cleaning supplies. The state would have shown the video surveillance depicting the two of them purchasing tarps, bleach, a mop, and garbage bags. In their recorded interviews, both defendants detailed wrapping the body of Nicole Jones in tarps and placing her into the trunk of her own vehicle. The two of them headed to dinner with the body of Nicole Jones still in the trunk of the vehicle. Afterward, they drove her body to a dumpster at a nearby apartment complex where Jonathon Jones previously lived and dumped her body into a dumpster. The two stole many of Nicole Jones's belongings, including a firearm, her jewelry, her checkbook and ID, and together they removed all the money from her bank account. The electronic monitoring unit that Mr. Jones was wearing at the time of the murder would have showed his movements throughout Toledo during this period of time, corroborating the facts as stated above. Afterward, the defendant cut off his monitor and fled with Kaitlyn Coones in his mother's vehicle. They proceeded out west through Arizona, where Kaitlyn Coones is alleged to have committed additional crimes. Eventually, the two made their way to the country of Mexico. While on the run, the defendant Kaitlyn Coones was posting on Facebook about having murdered people and texted several others telling them what she had done. One of these individuals that saw her post contacted the Akron police where Kaitlyn Coones was to be residing. Akron police then notified the Sylvania Township Police Department of what had been reported, and in response, the Sylvania Township Police Department responded to the victim's home to check her safety. She was obviously not there, and during the execution of a subsequent search warrant, officers discovered the blood and missing items. Warrants were then issued for the arrests of Jonathon Jones and Kaitlyn Coones. Meanwhile, while the defendants were in Mexico, they were stopped and arrested because Mr. Jones was in possession of marijuana and Kaitlyn Coones was determined to be a minor traveling without a legal custodian. Eventually, they made their way back here, Judge, to face these charges. The defendant, Jonathon Jones, was interviewed by several agents and gave a lengthy statement. He claimed that on April 19th, 2023, while they were in the Timbers Ridge home, that Kaitlyn Coones gave him 5 hours to kill his mother, and then when that time elapsed, she did it on her own while he stepped out for a cigarette. However, his statement contained several inconsistencies and the improbable self-serving statement that Kaitlyn Coones, acted alone in the killing. For instance, Jonathon Jones further admitted in this interview that after they murdered Nicole Jones, he was covered in blood and that the two of them showered together. He then indicated that while the two of them had fled, he wasn't thrilled with the situation, but that he was happy that he and Kaitlyn could now be together, and noted that his mother always interfered with their relationships. The defendant, Kaitlyn Coones, in her first interview, did claim to have killed the victim all on her own as well, a claim the state would have proven was false and done in part during as part of a plan the two of them had contrived together, whereby Mr. Jones was asking Kaitlyn to take full responsibility for the murder to receive a lesser sentence since she was a juvenile, in the hopes that he would then also receive a lesser sentence. However, in her second interview, almost a year later, the defendant, Kaitlyn Coones, provided a different statement. This time, she placed nearly all blame for the murder on the defendant, Jonathon Jones. In this statement, she depicted Jonathon Jones as coming in through his bedroom window with a large rock. He then demonstrated for her how he would strike his mother over the head and stated, "I'm going to do it now." She further claimed that she heard Nicole Jones scream out and gurgle blood, and that she waited for it to be over. That when she came out of the bedroom, she saw Jonathon Jones with his hands around the victim's neck, asking for her help, to which she complied, of the belief that finishing Nicole Jones's life or ending it would bring them closer together as a couple. She further stated while she did give Jonathon Jones a timeline within which he must kill his mother, she never thought he would carry it out. Both defendants gave statements at one point where they each removed themselves from the crimes at the increment of time of critical importance, which would be the ending of Nicole Jones's life, and that they did this for a reason, because they committed out these acts together. The evidence also would have included jail calls and jail letters between the defendants, wherein they are professing their love for one another, and one in which Jonathon Jones repeatedly directs Kaitlyn Coones to continue admitting to the murder so that the state would not think that he was the mastermind behind this crime, possibly giving him a lesser sentence. While the body of Nicole Jones was not recovered in this case, the state would have shown the death of Nicole Jones through circumstantial evidence, including no cell phone activity, money transactions, communications, or sightings after April 19th, 2023, in addition to the fact that both defendants did in fact admit that she was murdered and that her body was disposed of in a dumpster. To the extent that the defense would have attempted to argue that Kaitlyn Coones was afraid of Jonathon Jones, we would have shown that she continues to seek him out, profess her love to him, and that while fleeing never attempted to notify authorities, call for help. Further, we would have shown a video taken from Ms. Coones's phone that depicts her smiling and laughing in the stolen vehicle while Jonathon is driving, following their flight after the murder. And the video pans down to her purse where it shows, she is in possession of a firearm. We would have argued and proved that she was not in any fear and that she had the means, specifically a firearm, to disengage herself from the defendant. The evidence would have been clear, Your Honor, and proven beyond a reasonable doubt that both defendants acted in concert to plan, murder, and dispose the body of Nicole Jones. They committed these offenses together every step of the way. Based on that statement of facts, we are asking the court to find both defendants guilty of aggravated murder and abuse of a corpse. Thank you.
Horrific facts and plenty of evidence for those facts. So why was there a plea? We'll be talking about that a little later.
It's hard for me to understand that they were given a plea to plead no contest, but also they get opportunity for parole after 25 years. No guarantee they'll get it, but that still sounds like a sweet deal.
Yeah, it does to me too. Horrific crimes. Coming up next, though, we're going to hear from the victim's brother as he describes the difficulty of losing his sister at the hands of his own nephew. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, new details revealed in the murder of Madeline Soto. We're diving deeper into this case as our experts weigh in.
Closing Arguments with Vinnie Politan, tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
How are 5 people charged with the murder of one person?
He said, I swore since I was 6 years old that I'd kill that man.
Accomplice to Murder with Vinnie Politan. All new episode, Sunday night, 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. Michael Ayala here with Judge Ashley Wilcott. Now, we're in Ohio now, where 18-year-old Kaitlyn Coones, along with her adult boyfriend, 34-year-old Jonathon Jones, were in court today to plead no contest to the murder of Jones's mother, Nicole.
And now we are hearing the victim impact statement of Robert Jones. This is the brother of Nicole, who spoke of the difficulty of losing his sister to her son, and he also criticized the community's response to her disappearance. Let's go back into court.
My name is Robert Jones, and I'm here today to speak on behalf of our beloved sister and daughter, Nicole Jones. No words can fully capture the depth of our grief, the extent of our pain, or the magnitude of our loss. Nicole Jones was a beacon of light in our lives. She was a devoted mother, a cherished daughter, and a loving sister. Her kindness, her laughter, and her unwavering support reflect the foundations upon which our family stood. Her murder has shattered our world, leaving a void that can never be filled. The agony of losing Nikki is compounded by the unimaginable betrayal we feel, knowing that her own son and his girlfriend committed this heinous act. The trust we once placed in Jonathon Jones has been irrevocably broken. And the sorrow we feel is intensified by the confusion and disbelief that someone so close to her could be capable of such brutality. Nikki was always there for Jonathon without question. The fact that he failed her in this moment is incomprehensible to our family. The physical absence of Nikki is a constant, searing wound. The fact that her body was never recovered adds a layer of torment that words cannot describe. We are denied the closure that comes with laying a loved one to rest, and we are haunted by unanswered questions and horrific imaginings of her final moments. This perpetual state of limbo exacerbates our suffering and hinders our ability to heal. The emotional toll on our family has been devastating. We struggle daily with feelings of tremendous pain, anger, and profound sorrow. Each milestone, holiday, and family gathering is a stark reminder of her absence. The laughter that once filled our family gatherings has been replaced by silence and tears. The comfort of her presence is now a cherished memory that we cling to in our darkest hours. This horrible tragedy has also weakened our faith and belief in our local community. Nothing was done to attempt to recover our family member, and decisions were made without consulting us or even reaching out to us to express any sorrow or remorse for the decisions that were made. At the time our family needed the basic services of the community the most, the system was unable to perform its most basic duties. The inaction of some has cast a cloud over our sense of safety and belonging. The place we grew up and raised our families doesn't feel like home. Despite this, we will forever work to honor Nikki. Our family's future is now overshadowed by this tragedy. We find ourselves grappling with a profound sense of loss and a relentless ache in our hearts. These defendants' actions have irrevocably altered the course of our lives, robbing us of the joy and presence that Nikki brought to us. We stand before you today seeking justice for Nicole Jones. We implore you to consider the immense pain and suffering inflicted upon our family and to hold the defendants accountable for their actions. While no sentence can bring her back or erase our anguish, we hope that it will provide some measure of justice and deterrence, preventing other families from enduring the nightmare that we now live. Your Honor, we ask that you remember Nicole Jones not as a victim, but as a vibrant, loving individual whose life was tragically cut short. We ask that you honor her memory by delivering a sentence that reflects the seriousness of the crime and the depth of our loss. Thank you for allowing us to share our story and for considering our plea for justice. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, just an emotional moment for him, for his family, the entire thing, just an ordeal. Let's bring back in our guest, criminal defense attorney John Mobley. John, I want to get your thoughts on this deal in this case. Both the judge and I feel like we're struggling understanding why the state would give what we consider to be a sweetheart deal.
You know, Michael, I got to call it like I see it. I was thinking the exact same thing when I saw it was allowed to be a no contest plea. You have an extremely brutal, graphic murder. Just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Thank you so much, John, for joining us this hour.